Is there a possibility that a team is too good for the regular season? Being a team that finished top 5 in net rating, top 10 in relative defensive efficiency all time, and being led by one of the best guard seasons in NBA history that can finish a regular season averaging 33 points per game on 64% true shooting. The Oklahoma City Thunder find themselves down 2-1 to the Denver Nuggets, and it may be due to a reason that was right under our noses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new episode of At the Buzzer Sports, where we talk all things basketball all the time. My name is John Drummond, and I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder and why they are in a very compelling situation of being too good for playoff basketball. And this just may be a long video, and I might be spending this entire time overestimating the situation the Thunder have put themselves in, but I think the Thunder could be in some serious trouble, and here's why. After winning 68 games, the Oklahoma City Thunder were absolutely dominating, having one of the greatest defensive seasons ever with the amount of athleticism they had on the perimeter to force turnovers, doubles with the confidence of recovering to open shooters, and the physicality they were able to bring to guards to disrupt the ball handling of the opposing team. The Thunder not only won games, they were blowing teams out the water. The OKC Thunder finished last in the NBA in total clutch games with only 24. Which is a 5-game margin between them and number 29, which is the Washington Wizards. Again, with a team per cleaning the glass who finished number 1 in transition efficiency off steals, the way they were able to have these groundbreaking 10 to 12-0 runs was the fact that they always had at least 3 All-NBA level defenders on the court at all times. If we take a look at their most played lineups this year, there are 7 most played lineups this year that all have all defensive caliber players within them. 5 of the 7 lineups brought up has a half-court defensive efficiency that is at least 85th percentile per cleaning the glass. There was a reason why this team finished as the best defense in the league, and they check off a lot of boxes that you need in today's game to be a top defense. Rotation versatility, check. The ability to adjust your lineup to play against a potential finals matchup in the Cleveland Cavaliers, who have a bigger lineup with Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen at the front court, or the ability to go small and play against a potential Western Conference Finals matchup in the Golden State Warriors. This ability to match whatever your opposing team is doing offensively with a lineup defensively that best takes away what they do best, this is an elite level quality that can have you at the top of the league in defense. Point of attack defense. Check. Having a multitude of guys like Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, or Alex Caruso, and others that can pressure the ball and force turnovers. Rim protection. Having one of the best roamers in the NBA checks this box in Chet Holmgren. Not only having him, but adding an Isaiah Hartenstein who can play next to Chet Holmgren as a post defender while Chet Holmgren roams. In this series, Nikola Jokic is averaging 26 points per game, 15 rebounds per game, and 6 assists on 7 turnovers a night and 49% true shooting. And a lot of these numbers are increased by the Game 1 performance, because in just Games 2 and 3, he's averaging 18 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists on 41% true shooting. So based on the title of this video and the things I've praised OKC on, why would I say that this regular season dominance has been a detriment to the playoffs for the Oklahoma City Thunder? And I think that this has more to do with the series and the team that's on the opposite side of them. If we take a look at the past dominant teams of the NBA, the 2024 Celtics had 33 clutch games played and multiple playoff series played prior to winning an NBA championship. Even the 2016 Warriors played 34 clutch games and they only lost 9 games throughout that entire season. And the next year, after adding Kevin Durant, they played 25 clutch games plus multiple years of playoff experience. So even though there are people who don't like going to experience when rating the Thunder, I think that's a serious factor to why they may continue to struggle in this matchup. I feel like 2 of the 3 games in this series, the Oklahoma City Thunder were served to them on a platter. Ever since Nikola Jokic has been anointed as the best player in the NBA, he has not had a game this bad offensively. This is a game that the Oklahoma City Thunder are supposed to win. Even in a situation like Game 1, where there's a few seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter, and the Oklahoma City Thunder foul intentionally to get Jokic back on the floor. These are mishaps that show experience more than just incompetence. And when you're going against a team like the Denver Nuggets, who can get really good looks in the half court time and time again, you have to take advantage of every single advantage you have in this series. I felt as though late in the game, SGA was forcing a lot of shots. The Denver Nuggets were consistently getting better looks than the Oklahoma City Thunder in clutch games. And I happened to log some of the shots that SGA took in the clutch scenario late in the fourth quarter. We start with a contested mid-range shot that was doubled by Jamal Murray and Christian Brown. We also take a contested step back three that was contested by Christian Brown and Jamal Murray, and also another contested step back three contested by Jamal Murray. There was just so much that happened in this game for the Oklahoma City Thunder not to walk away with a win. When you shut down Nikola Jokic in that manner, you have to be able to close it out against a team that is going to execute better than you would in a late game scenario. Now that we've wrapped up with Game 3, I want to talk about Game 4 because I still think some of my position stands. Even though the Thunder were able to pull this win out in the clutch against the Nuggets in the fourth quarter of Game 4, I still believe that some of the things in the clutch that need to be talked about still stand within this game. On both accounts, I do want to talk about the offense on either side because I do feel as though that there could have been more pulled out of this game offensively from both players. If we talk about the stars, both of the stars had really bad games. SGA was struggling to get good looks on the perimeter, and he was struggling to get to the rim. Nikola Jokic was struggling to get really good looks. He settled for a lot of threes. I think he's taken 18 threes over the past 2 games. That is a part of how the Thunder's defense can make Jokic struggle as much as possible. But in particular, I do want to talk about how the Oklahoma City Thunder have to do better at breaking down the zone. In the first quarter, the OKC Thunder were constantly trying to dribble into the middle of the zone instead of having somebody flash to the middle to collapse the defense a little bit more. And I also want to talk about SGA. I think SGA really has to process the game faster for him to be a better playoff scorer. If we talk about the past, I would say 6 playoff series that SGA has had ever since he has become an MVP caliber player, he's only been good in 1 series. To take that back, he's only played 4 playoff series where he's been an MVP caliber player, and he's been good in one of them, and that's the Dallas Mavericks series. He's played a total of 8 playoff games so far this postseason run, and he's only been good in 2 games. That's Game 2 against the Denver Nuggets and Game 4 against the Memphis Grizzlies. And I know this title may sound crazy, how the Thunder's regular season dominance is a detriment to their postseason success, but it's just because they have not played a lot of clutch games this season. So they don't necessarily know what works and what doesn't work in the clutch. And I feel as though SGA was not getting easy looks at all in clutch basketball when this game got down to that point. Throughout the clutch moments of this game, SGA was taking a lot of step back threes. He was turning the ball over. He wasn't getting to spots that he was comfortable, and he wasn't reading the floor fast enough. There was a moment where SGA in the first quarter was dribbling on the left wing of the court in the half court, and J-Dub, he flashed to the middle, which caused the Nuggets defense to collapse on the middle, leaving a skip pass to Aaron Wiggins in the corner. He read that way late and didn't make the pass. And if you're not going to be able to make those reads out of zone, you have to be able to consistently get to spots you're comfortable at, and you have to be able to get to the rim. And he just has not been able to do that. And I do want to say big ups to the Denver Nuggets because they have been playing phenomenal defense. Every time someone got to the middle of the zone, Jokic was using his hands to disrupt their shot, disrupt their ball handling, or disrupt the pass. And he's been really good in that area. Christian Brown, Russell Westbrook, and Peyton Watson have been really good point of attack defenders. The same can be said about Aaron Gordon. He made things very difficult on J-Dub. He made things very difficult on SGA when he had those opportunities. And there aren't a lot of moments in this season that you could point to experience with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I feel as though in this series, you can point to experience as much as anyone else. I feel like Game 1 on the coaching end was lost due to inexperience. I feel as though Game 3 was lost due to inexperience. The Thunder really put themselves in a position where they had to rely on SGA in that game, and he just wasn't able to give you those looks and that shot making that he's usually able to give you. And when that's not going down, the Thunder have to have some type of set offense that they can run to when it's not working. And that's the difference between them and the Nuggets. The Nuggets are going to get a way better shot quality in the clutch, and I just don't think the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to be able to blow teams out like they have in the regular season and be able to have that transfer in the postseason as much against these better teams. And I said this at the trade deadline. The Oklahoma City Thunder have way too many assets for them not to have gotten a Cam Johnson over the trade deadline. If we all saw Lu Dort go 2 for 10 from the three-point line in this game, imagine if it was Cam Johnson, who's a career 44% three-point shooter from the corner, taking those shots. Imagine if Cam Johnson got 10 three-point looks as open as Lu Dort. He probably would have went 6 for 10 and the Thunder blow out the Nuggets. And I just think it's very important for SGA to become a better processor when the ball is in his hand if the Thunder are going to continue to prioritize that defensive ceiling for the rest of his tenure there. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I do think the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to end up winning this series because they're just the better team. They have the way better defense, and I do not think that this offense is going to continue to be this bad in the clutch. I definitely think they have the offensive personnel to be able to figure something out, and I think Mark Daigneault is probably one of the 3 best coaches in the NBA. With all that being said, I hope you guys had a fantastic Mother's Day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace!